tell us, like, give us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I mean, I guess I would usually identify as a runner who just kind of like explores doing things that I like. I have a fair few hobbies, kind of just like games and things involving learning for the most part. So kind of a problem solver. So I like just doing anything that really, I guess, gets me thinking, I guess. But yeah, I was born in Ulverston and I moved over to the States when I was 18.
Yeah.
Spent about 9 years there, living mainly in Colorado, went to Wisconsin after that. But yeah, I went over there for running as well. So I think running has played like a pretty big theme. And yeah, I'd say that's pretty much it.
How running is such a, like, I don't want to say it's a weird thing, but like, how do you turn running into essentially like that point in your life that sort of led you down that path of sort of, you're almost 30 now, like, and you've been, like a professional runner?
Yeah, semi-professional, I guess I'd say.
Yeah.
I mean, it started because I played so many sports growing up. Like I played, I think, 7 sports at one stage during 3rd grade, and it's just like the worst part about playing sports was just being tired all the time. Like the best part was actually engaging in the skill, and when I ran and trained more, I was just able to do all of those without, being tired. So eventually I just kind of figured I had a knack for it, and it just kind of opened up many like opportunities within my life. So one of them was going over to the States and being able to get a free education that way. And yeah, I guess it just like kind of has continually been like a way that opportunities have just presented themselves to me, and I've just gone with it.
How does that come up? Because that's not in the brochure at like when you do pathway planning at schools. We spoke with Joel a bit about that.
Yeah.
And he was like, there's no brochure that's like, do you want to go to America and run? Because we've got this, we've got just the school for you. like you obviously had an ambition. You'd already, I assume you're already running lots before then. And, did you go over there to further your education more, or to try and become a runner, a professional runner?
Yeah, so it was mainly to like continue running. But how it started was when I was in grade 10, I had some colleges reach out to me. And at that point I was like, oh, that's like a thing that, because there's just so much money in sport over there in comparison to Australia. So it just wasn't something I was expecting. And when they reached out, I was like, okay, so this is like a thing I can kind of get like essentially paid to do. Not in the sense of a pro contract or anything, but like free school and free travel to the States. That's pretty good. So yeah, that's how like I figured that out. It just kind of, again, presented it to myself after running like for so long.
Yeah.
What kind of runs on the board did you need? Yeah, lol. What kind of performance did you need to demonstrate to have colleges straight up approach you for that?
Yeah, so I think you had to place like a certain rank within Australia and also run times. So I think for the 3,000 metre, they were often looking for under like 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
Sorry, what?
So, okay. Yeah. I guess they're just looking at like little times like that and what would be competitive over there, because they're all looking to score like points for their like conference or nationals or whatever. So they're just like looking for people who can do certain events that maybe they can score in. So
how do they make money from the sport?
Yeah, so I mean, I think they mainly make money from the student base. Like the cost of attending school is like really expensive over there.
Yeah, right.
You maybe think it's like kind of expensive over here, but it's some schools are ridiculous in the range of around 70,000 Australian a year, because they're just crazy like that. So yeah, I think they make it off like the rest of the student population that come there because of the sports and other things as well.
And you think that that's like the sporting, like you running at a school was an attraction for other people, not just you, but like the whole athletics department or whatever, like that was an attraction for other people to come to that school?
Yeah, well, definitely for the running side of things, like more runners would come to the school because they would see who's running there. But as far as like where I went, it was kind of a big running school. That's kind of like what they did. They had several Olympians kind of come through, and that's what they were known for. So yeah, I don't know. I think sports in general are just a big attraction for students. Like, have you guys like seen the like Coliseum like stadiums they have over there? some of them are just bigger than like the MCG, and they're just like at a college, and it's insane.
Psycho, isn't it? It's a whole nother world, that American college sporting scene. When you went over there, so you would have left at Ulverston High, and then you've walked out the door there, and your next school that you've walked into, I suppose, is that. How different is it, and how much was that a shock for you?
Yeah, well, so it would have been Don first, but then onto there. But it was still huge, like going over there. I remember the first few days, just like not many people had shown up to school, because it was in summer break and no one's there. It was hot as anything, and just like couldn't sleep because of the time zone difference. So it was actually like really terrible the first few days. But like eventually, after a while, it just like became an amazing experience, because as you all know, running like has kind of picked up recently here around the Tasmania. But before, when I was growing up, I felt like it was a very niche sport. It's individual sport. To join like a team setting where I was running like with 60 other people a day is like an insane difference to what I was doing over here. So massive difference as far as like the sporting goes, and just being in a different country that operates very, very differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much was sport like a part of your day to day? Like obviously you were there to study, but you were also paid there to run. Like how much what did running look like while you were over there?
Yeah, so normally it would be 1 or 2 runs a day. So might look like an easy run in the morning that's just like 40 minutes, and then in the afternoon we might have a session, and after that session we might go to the weight room, and that would be more busy of a day. And some other days would just be a run that lasts about 60 minutes, and that would be done. So longer sort of runs, probably doing around 120 to 160k a week, which is like a fair bit even for me too. I don't like running that much either. But yeah, and then it would just be a run, rush to class. Normally it would be like from 9 to 1 in my case, class, and then do the other session and then go back home.
Tell me, American Pie, frat parties, do they exist?
They do, but I think at my college, not so much. Mine was a bit of a smaller one, but they definitely do exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any of those kind of experiences like while you were there?
Yeah, for sure. Like definitely like when traveling around like countries and going like other states and then going to the bigger universities on the way, like maybe we went and gone to go watch like a meet or something. The first year you don't really compete, so you may go watch a bunch of meets. So we just kind of went to these bigger colleges, their bars and their things around there.
What was the wildest shit you've seen?
Oh, he's not giving it up.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to repeat it on, bring that up here. But yeah, definitely some crazy times though.
Yeah.
Not sure if I can get into that.
You can, man. Like, just whatever.
How do you go as an Australian over there? As a like, you're obviously somewhat a minority, but you know, is it the same old story where you know everyone loves Australians or?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think even the accent alone like goes a long way, and it's just kind of bizarre because you don't think that Americans have accents a lot unless it's like a southern accent or like it's really noticeable, because we watch TV all the time, so we're like, yeah, that's normal. But when they hear Australians, that's really different to them because they don't watch like Australian TV or hear anyone like that. So yeah, but it goes really well, and it works well in your favour.
Yeah. In what ways does it work in your favour, Kale?
I think people find that quite attractive. So, yeah.
That's when you went over. So you've gone over. You're pretty young. Yes, you've got no support. You knew no one from Australia going to the same school at the same time, I assume?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
So you just walked in there completely on. You're relying then heavily on, your family and friends back home to maintain that communication for a lot of support and stuff as well. Was that difficult?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, as I said, that first couple of weeks was really, really hard. But once you get friends and everything starts moving smoothly, then it was pretty good. And just having again, that running group was just something added that I didn't have before. And yeah, that kind of made it a lot easier to just, I don't know, integrate in. But yeah.
How did you find being away from family? It's not just moving to Melbourne where, you're an hour away. Like it's full on, like to get to where you were in Colorado, that's like sort of up near like New York City and stuff. So like you're talking a 20-something hour trip.
Yeah, it's normally around like 30 hours, I'd say. Just like, just with the layovers and everything. But yeah, no, I think I did like pretty well with it. I like, funny you say that it's not like moving to Melbourne. I kind of thought it was the same thing. Like when you,
Really?
Yeah, because you move away and you don't really have contact except for the brief times. And in my mind, like I was just going to come back once or twice a year. So it'd be the same as if I went over to Melbourne and came back once or twice a year. But I guess now that I've been over, that's not the case. I'd probably come back a lot more and that would have been different. But no, I had like a good time and I had the support from my family and friends, and I just made like coming home back to Tasmania a lot better. And I found that I appreciated being from Tasmania more once I came back.
I think going away, I think everyone should be made to go away to appreciate how good we've got it here in Tassie.
Yeah, just have a ritual as they like a young
you
adult.
got to have 12 months
away.
away. Yeah.
Gap year.
Yeah, gap year. Yeah. When you leave to go over there, and this is bringing it back to the premise of the whole in progress thing, I suppose, a bit, you leave to go over there as an 18-year-old and you think you're going to become a professional runner and go to the Olympics, and that's your vision? Is that what you wanted from that? Or was it just the experience to stay in the space, I suppose, at that semi-elite level?
Yeah, so at that point it was like being open-minded to both, I guess, like just seeing how it progresses. As far as like, you know, being in progress, I've kind of been a big part of just like doing the best day in, day out, see where that gets you. Because like realistically, that's all you can actually do. So it was never like I have to reach this goal, because that was kind of like if I don't, then that's like a big letdown. So yeah, it was mainly just like seeing where we could go and what it can do. Yeah.
Because you've obviously got the passion for the running, like you enjoy it. Like I'll go and do 3 runs in a week and I won't run for a month because I'm over it. But like you've gone and done that, and you've come back now, and it's still in you to, you know, you're doing your coaching now, and still running a lot, obviously, by the sounds of it, breaking all the parkrun records. Rude.
It's been good fun doing this, yeah.
But yeah, so what's now? Because that's a big transition to come back from there, and then now how do we go forward, and what is forward?
Yeah, I mean, I've just been like enjoying running. I've been trying to find ways over the last few years, testing it out myself, like what's the least amount of mileage per week I can do to run like up near the top guys or the top end of the fields when we get to really competitive races. So that's kind of what I've been working on a lot. So I've kind of just been like, as I said at the start, kind of problem solving and having fun with that. And I've been enjoying running more because like I like running, but just doing less of it is nice. Like I was doing that 160K a week in university, and now I'm probably doing around like 90 to 100K a week, and that's like still a lot for like the average person, but like when you're used to that 160, it feels a lot better. Yeah. So I'm just enjoying that. I'm preparing for the half marathon in Launceston and Melbourne. I haven't done those events yet, so yeah.
Yeah. What's your drive behind smashing all the parkrun records?
I don't know. Just like people kept telling me that I should go do them, and like normally I'd do a workout on a Saturday. So I was like, well, if I do a park run and I sit around talking for a while after that, I'm not going to want to do a workout. So I'm going to make it into one and just go out and belt them. Yeah.
So you don't just do the park run?
No, normally I just do the park run, maybe like a little bit afterwards, but normally that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only 14 minutes worth of work. It's fine.
Yeah. What is the time?
Well, I've run like 14:17 for Port Sorell and like around 14:25, 14:30 for the Devonport and Burnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's fucking mind blowing. But just outside of like, what is like professional? Like, I don't want to say you're not professional. Like, what's professional level 5Ks?
Yeah. So I think like Olympic level would be anything probably under 13:15, I think. My personal best is around 13:45. So like I'm that sub-elite level, I guess. Like there'd be the Olympic level, and then I'd be the step down from that. I've kind of always been that my like whole life. So yeah.
Yeah, that's still an amazing achievement to get to. Like, holy fuck. Like 14 minutes to do 5K is just, and 8 minutes to do 8Ks. It takes me that long to get in the fucking car to drive 3Ks to get down to the gym. Like, you know, that is insane. So, you know, power to you, man. But the point of in progress, as well as, you know, obviously identifying that we're all in progress, is talking about those pivotal moments in life. Obviously, running and getting those call-ups from college was a pivotal moment. Yep. What other moments have you had? Like, I mean, you would have finished your degree over in America, but you stayed on. Like, what were some of the pivotal things that you've had in your life?
Yeah, well, I guess a pivotal moment would be just like not being able to get another work visa over there. It kind of forced my hand in terms of returning back home. But again, the drive was just kind of there to be involved in running and kind of coach or keep running. So that's why I stayed over in the US. Had a better running climate, better races, and yeah, just kept going with that. But as far as like moments that kind of changed my life, I would say the being forced to move back here was definitely one of them, because I've had to adapt, and I never thought I'd kind of like have a life back in Australia. And so,
how did you manage that mentally? So obviously that would have been a big mental shift for you, like to, you know, think that you had a home there, like for a decade, and then being kind of uprooted to now you've got to come back to this little tiny state called Tasmania.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think like these large pivotal moments, there's also just like smaller ones along the way. They were mainly just mental adjustments I've made over the years that have kind of changed things in the direction that I want to go. So I guess a big part about moving back is that I often feel like I'm not where I should be, or not at the stage that I should be in life, given that I've kind of had to reset and start anew from here, and I wasn't able to do a lot in the States. So kind of reminding myself mentally that it's like okay not to be where your future aspirations are, like currently, and not kind of get down about that has been a big mental adjustment for me. But I've just had several of those along the way, taught by other people or by myself, that I've felt has kind of improved my mental headspace. So one thing I personally do is like I like to talk to myself as if I'm a friend of mine, because I often fall into like a pretty negative headspace often. So that's like I go towards that, but whenever I talk to a friend, like bang, things just change. Like I instantly know what to say when someone's going through a tough situation. So I guess whenever I'm going through anything like a big moment, I just kind of talk to myself like a friend, and I know exactly kind of what to do from there. Yeah.
With the... Oh, yeah, I've got to be closer.
Yeah.
It's a long way away.
Otherwise we can't hear.
I was just trying to soak it all in. Like, it's so much I find. Like, I mean, the challenges when you spoke about coming home and being in a different position are you've come home and your friends from school are married and they've got kids and they've established their lives in a way that is the norm in the white picket fence and the 2 kids and the house and the car and whatever else. But that hasn't been you. Did you work towards that relationship, that norm when you're in America, or was it just you were just doing your running? And what did you do for work once you finished college, I suppose?
Yeah, so I was a college coach for cross country. We were in the States for a while, but I mean, I kind of have never really fit into the norm anyway. I mean, like we say all these things, but I'm sitting here too with coloured hair, and that's just like not a typical thing that you see around Tasmania particularly. But I guess I just haven't like always fit into the norm, but it definitely has been times where it makes you feel like behind, because I kind of have aspirations for those things as well. And you see that and like returning and restarting from complete scratch on all of these like pivotal, like big life goals, I guess, just feels very like different. It feels like you're behind, and it's hard like to combat the thinking that you're not behind, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just a different, like as Nathan was sort of saying in his episode, like it's a chapter in your book. Like it doesn't necessarily mean that the book is wrong or like the history within the book is like incorrect or anything like that. It's just it's a phase of life, and you know, you're now moving into that sort of next step here in Tassie, and sort of, you know, look forward to obviously seeing how you write it and all the rest of it. But with that in mind, what is future plans for Kale apart from smashing all the other parkrun records in Tasmania?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like saving money at this stage and just kind of working towards some of those life goals that were probably typical and normal. Because as I said, I would like those, and I do, like, mentally I'm trying not to feel behind, but it's still something I want to kind of catch up to relatively quickly. So I guess those are like the main things, is just getting more situated, getting more people to coach. I really enjoy that and would like to make that a full-time thing. And preferably, like, I wanted it to be a job over there because I didn't think it could be a job here. But I'm starting to see that coaching can be a job here, and that's kind of what I still want to do. So I guess that's what's next, is just continuing to run, helping people where I can with coaching and other things, and yeah, doing that. I enjoy that.
Yeah. Personal running goals, you said you've got the Launceston half and the Melbourne half.
Yep.
And that's your preferred goal at the moment, to do the half marathon distance. That's what you're...
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to go. Like, I feel like it's going to be one of those things that just like don't know until you're probably about 15K into that 21K race, that just not sure how it's going to go, whether you're just going to fall flat or like be able to hold on till the end. So yeah.
It's only 4 5 though, isn't it?
What's that?
It's only 4 5K runs though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. I'm trying to think about it.
So
Feels like
quick maths,
time
under an
wasted.
hour.
Says Guy.
You've done the math real quick.
Under an hour.
Yeah.
So is there like with the running stuff, like, excuse me, ignorance, like it's obviously a sport that I have like no knowledge on at all. Is there a career in running in Tasmania or even in Australia, like as sort of a semi-professional
Yeah, I mean,
sort of career, or is it more in the coaching and the that kind of stuff?
I would say like you kind of have to be at the top echelon of like runners to be making it like a career out of it, like close to Australian records or going off to get medals or anything at like the World Championships and stuff. You kind of have to be right up there. There's little like sponsorships you can get where you might get some free gear and stuff like that, but yeah, there's not too much. And I felt like there was a lot more in the US, and that's again was something maybe I was working towards rather than like these, like making the Olympics. It was getting a pro contract was like a goal at one stage, because that's just a way to continue what I was doing and make it into a profession. So
did you ever think about following some of the, like, obviously I knew you were around the basketball court, like, and you were good there. Like, did you ever think of that sort of trend, like moving into that other sport, like to try and follow a professional pathway, or was it just always just the love of running?
I think you've talked me up too much about that. I don't know if I was ever that good with basketball. I enjoyed it. I think I kind of hustled probably more at basketball, like with my fitness. You know, I'd be there making sure I was boxing out all the time, stealing the ball whenever I could, and honestly, like if there was a taller guy, I'd just be covering their eyes as they shot, not even trying to block the ball, just so they couldn't see the ring. So yeah, no, I don't think I had necessarily the potential in other like skill-based sports. I was good at them, but not like that level. And I couldn't jump that high either. Didn't have quite the running kind of took away from that too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because like your muscles start to kind of like change towards what you do, and like endurance running, explosive power is just going to go down if you do that. Yeah.
So you said you got like obviously multiple different degrees while you're away, like in sports science and some other things.
Yep, biology and physics and philosophy one.
Yeah. Well. Do you look to use that sort of in anything that you do back here in Tassie, or?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it. I've usually been just doing it, using it for the coaching and just credibility with that, and just kind of applying my knowledge there. But as far as like applying some of those things, I don't have an interest in biology so much. The physics and philosophy side of things, like might do something like tutoring and things. Like I do enjoy teaching of all sorts. It's kind of why I went into coaching. It's just like found I enjoyed teaching people and just like kind of helping them with things. So yeah, I don't know if I'll ever really use them outside of that. Maybe a job with like Athletics Tasmania or Athletics Australia at some point. But yeah.
And the other question I have, and it's massive segue, but we spoke a little bit about the things that you do for your mental health, like obviously talking to yourself like as if you're a friend. But it's jogged my memory as to what some of the other people who have been in this podcast have said around, the things that they do for their mental health being exercise. Given that your profession and work is exercise, what else can you do like for your mental health?
Yeah, I think it's more like getting involved in hobbies and not relying on running too much. So I think like exercise plays a big role, but if you're kind of using it or depending on it to kind of regulate your emotions fully, and you can kind of become over-reliant, and then it becomes a huge issue kind of if you get an injury or something like that and you don't have that outlet anymore and you've just kind of been relying on it. So I think it's kind of like other things to not be too reliant on exercise at the same time. So as I said before, I'm trying to run less and less, but still run fast. Because I think when I was younger, if I was feeling any sort of way, I would just be like, I'm going to go out and belt a run. And that will make me feel better temporarily. But yeah, so I think other things that I do for my mental health are just like engage in hobbies, build things, help others really helps. That kind of gives me fulfillment and a reason to like keep doing things. So I think those are the things I kind of focus on, as well as the little mind tricks we were talking about. But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. And you were mentioning before, and you mentioned a little bit about your hair. And look, this isn't something that, people that are watching this, they're going to be surprised by this question. But why the hair?
Yeah, at first I just like really felt like doing it. I was going through a patch where I just didn't really care what people thought of me. And I kind of thought the worst I would look here with how I do my hair is pretty spiked up. It's just probably going to look like an anime character if it goes wrong or doesn't look like that good. And like I did it and I got a very positive feedback. Now I kind of just know that either people will look at it and love it, or they'll look at it and kind of like laugh at it or mock me. But either way, they have a good experience with it, if that makes sense. So it's just like a positive.
And you mentioned that, and like the reason why I brought it up were like, and I probably wasn't going to, but you kind of brought it up, and in some interim of me farting around with some cameras and stuff, we had a bit of a yarn about it, but it made me think that you've almost used it as a bit of a tool to make other people feel like more comfortable.
Yeah.
Like you were mentioning, your experience at university back in America where you heard some people seen like your hair and seen you running, and that was their sort of deciding moment to perhaps come to that college.
Yeah, I definitely had people come up to me and talk to me saying like, I saw your like hair and you run, and I knew that like this is the kind of the place I wanted to be at. And I know that the first year I started dyeing my hair, the nationals team that goes away for cross country each year, there's 7 of us. So what we decided to do was pick a colour out of the hat, and we all dyed our hair that colour. So we had a whole 7 people on that team just with the colour of the rainbow. So I remember I had blue, so I had light blue on the sides, I think, and then dark blue in the middle or something like that. But yeah, so I don't know. I think it just kind of made people, some subset of the like population, feel more accepted, or like that they could maybe express themselves. And I get like comments on that a fair bit too. Like I think I was outside of Woolworths and someone kind of yelled out their car window and like, that is awesome. Nice hair. And they're just talking for a while too. But yeah, some people get really amped by it, and it's just I don't know, makes people feel accepted. And
I mean, if someone gets offended by it, fuck, it's on them. You choose to be what you're offended by, like, and I mean, if you're offended by someone's like hair color, then whatever. But I mean, if it makes a difference in someone's life and makes them feel accepted, then I think it's Yeah, it also really helps as like a way that like if you're probably judging me on that, then probably wouldn't get along too well anyway, maybe. Yeah.
Like too busy jumping to like conclusions on that front then. Yeah.
Fair. And I mean, realistically, you're going into coming from a marketing hat here, like you're going into a position of wanting to be a coach and a personal brand. Like, you know, you can be Kale, the guy that's going around smashing all the parkrun times. And that's not a terrible brand, but you could also be Kale, the guy with the colourful hair, like
also smashing the records.
Also smashing the records.
Yeah.
I think that's obviously gonna potentially make you a little bit more memorable. But
yeah, no, I get some comments just like, "Oh, I saw you running like past the window the other day." Like, you run by my street sometimes. I'm like,
yeah,
all right,
yeah,
sick.
It's a point of difference because you see a lot of people running, but
Yeah.
not too many with pink and blue hair.
Yeah,
or
that's
moving as fast as he
Yeah,
is, like running in a 5K run.
What was the last race you did?
The last race was last week a week ago in Hobart. It was a Hobart Marathon Festival, but the 10K within that event. So
How'd you go?
yeah, I won it and and 30 minutes 15 seconds for the 10K, and it was a hilly race. It was nice.
That's bonkers. We're only laughing because it's ludicrous. You understand it.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, I
it's
do.
fucking silly, don't you?
I
Like
understand it. Yeah.
it's not normal.
Yeah, and I still feel that way about like Olympians too, because
Yeah.
like just after pursuing it for so long, it's just like, man, these guys are so good. Like,
Yeah.
and even like some of the women too. It's just like this crazy how fast they are
Yeah,
and how strong they are.
yeah. What pace are you hoping for your half?
I think I'd like to run under 64 minutes for the half for my first one, or under 65, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm not sure how it would go, as I said before, but yeah.
yeah.
Is
That's
it
pretty
normally, is that been you're coaching these things for people and doing a different run yourself, if you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know, you're probably more that 3 to 10K runner, but then you're coaching someone to do a full marathon, or you're coaching someone to run every day an ultra for however long.
Yeah.
Like, so is that, are you relying on your background, your research and your schooling on that more so than your actual, not going to say abilities because I'm sure you could do it, but
Yeah.
it's not what you've done.
Yeah, I mean, well, look, like everyone's got their like event that's kind of where they're more geared towards. Like I'm geared towards more like the 5K, 10K at this stage. That's what I know. But I would love to be good at like the 1500 or whatever because that's just like a really fun event. But just because like I don't do it, the principles of running stay the same and training. It's just like some people are more geared towards being able to do these things. So you keep the training like so they don't violate these principles and they kind of build up in this nice way. But some people are just like stellar at these like marathon and half marathons, ultras, and others not so much. So like if you were to train everyone over the distances, give them like subject them to sprint training, distance running evenly, you'd start to see them like performing better in one event over the others. It's like genetics is just that's where they're better at. So yeah, so it's not too big a thing not being in those events myself because the principles of training stay the same, and I know the theory as to how to train for those events and like what will work for them. So yeah.
And how much does the mental training take a part in the coaching space? Because after 10, it is a fair bit of a mental game. Like, can I keep going? And can I do this? And I suppose that, do you play a big part in that, or do you sort of leave that up to the individual?
Oh, as a coach, do I play a big role in? Yeah, I mean, I kind of try to educate them on what they'll likely be feeling. But before these races, we kind of subject them to something that would at least give us the impression that like they can do the effort that they're about to do. Whether that may be like for a marathon. If you want to complete a marathon, you don't necessarily have to run like 42K before doing it. You might just have to run the amount of time that you like think it will take to complete the marathon. And I think we were talking about this with the overland track before too. Like you don't necessarily have to be able to run for the distance, but just be able to run for the amount of time you expect to get that distance done.
Now you've piqued my interest. The overland track. You're going to run the overland track? Is that?
I'm not going to run the overland track.
Oh, right.
No, we were just talking about how like it would be a fun thing to do at some stage. Yeah.
Would it?
It'd be sick.
To run
Running the
you seen
overland
that-
track.
have you seen
For
that
those
bloke
that
that
don't
did
know, the overland track is on average a 5 to 7 day hike for most people.
It doesn't. No. Most people complete it over 5 to 7 days.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter whether it's 5 or 7 days. It's still 66 kilometres. That's what it is.
But did you see the bloke that sort of run it? And he's like, "Oh, hang on, I've left my car at Dove Lake and run back."
He
Yeah,
did.
well,
No.
it's only one way, isn't
Only
it?
a couple of years ago. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm not joking.
All right.
What, he forgot that he left his car at Dove Lake?
He's just one of those
Yeah, that's
ultra, he's just like an ultra runner. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, right.
remember
Some of those
reading-
backyard marathon blokes, they're pretty fucking
Oh
mental.
yeah, how cool are they to see?
Have you ever thought about doing that as a runner?
No, I don't think so. It seems like appealing, but I don't know how it would go. The strategy around it's like interesting too. I don't know whether you try to be quick and then just try to sleep every hour. I don't know.
Run flat out and sleep 55 minutes or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. That's right. Yeah. Or whether you just like take your time and eat food and then
Yeah.
It'd be
That's
a fun
the-
thing to like work around strategically though.
Next
Problem solving.
level of like, because they were doing 200 odd Ks or something like that. Like, I can't remember. It was
36 hours or something it was, wasn't it? It was
36 hours
six
and
mile
And do
lap.
6K per hour, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It was a
Yeah.
lap per hour.
and I can't remember how many laps it was. I think a cumulative, it was like, it was in the multiple hundreds of kilometers that they ran over. Like, and you know, like if they're obviously not doing 15-minute 6Ks or anything stupid like that. They're probably doing like 30-minute 6s, 40-minute 6s, but they're still only getting like a 20-minute rest, like before they need to be at the start-finish line again to go again.
Yeah, it's a different ball game. Like
It's just madness.
You just don't know how like you're gonna feel, and I don't personally enjoy that sort of running of just being pretty tired. And pushing in that way. I kind of like pushing to be faster over the shorter distances, but it's kind of wild.
Have you ever done like, and this is a weird question. Like, I'm never going to run a marathon, but I sort of know the science behind like glycogen stores in your body and all the rest of it, and hitting the wall and like post beyond that sort of 22K mark, like when your body starts to go into like, what is it, like atrophy or whatever it is, where it starts to like break down protein and it starts to become like really challenging. Have you ever been to that point, like pushed yourself to that point, and how did you mentally, if you have, how'd you get through it?
Yeah, well, I think like it was just one long run. We do one every like Sunday, and I was like probably doing like 32K for like some of these long runs. And I got to around 21K. I'm just like, oh, I feel really good today. I might just do a marathon today. Like, might be the day I just like do this out of nowhere. So I started going off after like 22K, and then just as soon as like 28, 30K in, like, nah, I don't want to do this. Got to 36 and it became so much worse, and I just kind of like walked it in, because you do need to like eat something as you go, and I just like didn't really feel
plan
like
ahead.
doing it. It wasn't no, because like I used to do runs with some runs without water, and I wouldn't advise these things. Like,
It sounds like a shit outside.
it was in a semi like desert too, but we were like in just no water, no eating, nothing, and so that was one time you just can't really like go beyond what your physical boundaries are. But so I could keep going, but I just kept slowing down. The pain just kind of kept creeping up more.
Yeah.
But that's sometimes like the some of the events are just like that, where they do the mountainous runs and they are just kind of like pushing their body to the limits. I have one of my old teammates. She would like run several hours over a day, and very high energy, but she'd be like running through the forest in a mountain. Someone would be accompanying her for like a part of the run, and she'd just be like, I know there aren't like old men in the forest here, but that's what I see right now. She was starting to like hallucinate, but still continuing to run this like multi-hour event, just knowing that like, yeah, they're not there, but
I'm going to do it anyway.
yeah.
It's a weird space to be in.
And she's really high up there in the mountain running space and ultras. So
Have you ever been at a point where, like competition or otherwise, where you just thought, I think I'm done with running?
Yeah, no, that's happened quite a lot, especially when I had like specific goals that I wanted to reach. When I was like, I have to run this time, I have to make this event, or if I was going towards the Olympics, that was the goal at some point. whenever like I'd chase that, train way too hard, and then just get injured or blow up, not run well, I would just be like, yeah, I can't like do this anymore. I'm putting all this time into it, and it's just like hurting me, even like mentally, not being able to achieve these things. I think those were times that I wanted to quit, but I've largely like changed that perspective around running to be more excited rather than fearful of failure, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I like shifted my mindset there.
Being excited for the run more so than the goal.
Yeah, for the goal. And like I think so many people kind of stunt their growth in many things because they're fearful of what will happen if they don't achieve what they set out to do and how that will feel, when they should kind of be focused on just, oh, how can I be the best, or like I'm excited to go out and just like see what I can do. And that can be done in any state that you're in, like whether you're ill prepared for something or not. Like you can go into like a school test or whatever and maybe have only studied for a couple hours or not at all. You can still be excited about the idea or prospect of, well, how good can I do without studying? Or like there's still an opportunity here to test myself given that like circumstance. So yeah, it's exciting to do that more so. There's very few times in life where you actually get to test yourself like to your fullest, like doing something as hard as you can or as best as you can. So I kind of like, when I have the opportunity to do that in running, I really relish in that. So yeah, I get excited to go run, and it even helps with the mental space because you kind of get excited to like almost feel that like part of the pain that's accompanied with running fast, because it's like I know I'm on track to reach my goal and do what I want to do. So it's like when I start feeling that pain, I know that I'm on track and that's what I want to do. So I'm excited for that.
That's awesome, man. I think we've touched on so many different points of running and your career. Is there anything else that you want to add, like whether it's running or anything else?
Well, I think it would just be good again to go over like, don't be disappointed if you're not where you want to be in life right now, because I think that will always change as you progress and through life. You're going to have different series of goals. So if you're always kind of measuring yourself presently to where you want to be in the future, you're just kind of setting yourself up for failure and disappointment in that sense.
Yeah, and how much of that was measuring yourself against others?
Yeah, that happens a lot. That's hard to like kind of tap out of at any point, because sometimes you're like, oh, I wish I had this ability that other people had or something like that. But I think it's, again, just like zoning in on the best you can do day in, day out, and that's all you can focus on. That's kind of all you can do. So I try to like encourage people that I coach to only focus on that, because you may want to reach a certain goal, but how far you go towards your goal is really only determined by what you do and doing like the best thing for you each day. So yeah, I try to like avoid the thinking of what are other people doing, and because that doesn't affect you at all. You know, only what you do affects you. So it doesn't really matter what other people are training to do or what they're up to. Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, you've been a legend. Thank you so much for coming on. Look forward to seeing you smash some more park run records, and look forward to seeing how you go in the whole half marathon stuff as well, which will probably, by the time this episode comes out, you probably will have killed it and broken some records there maybe as well. So
all right, thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for being on, Kale. Cheers.
Let's go. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.